The Galactic Council chamber was quiet, but not calm. Powerful alien leaders filled the hall, their voices cold and sharp. In the center of the room stood a human. He was tall, silent, and dressed in a simple uniform. No weapons. No armor. Just calm eyes and steady hands. To most of the galaxy, humans were weak. Commander Lyra thought the same. Lyra belonged to a telepathic species, feared for their ability to read minds. She stood near the human, assigned to watch him. The council said he was an advisor, but Lyra did not understand why a human was even allowed here. Humans had lost wars. Humans had lost worlds. They survived only because stronger species allowed it. The human did not speak unless spoken to. He did not interrupt. He did not argue. He simply listened. Lyra watched him with boredom. The meeting turned tense. Reports of pirate fleets, hidden threats, and secret alliances filled the air. Accusations flew between council members. Power shifted with every word. Lyra focused on keeping her mental shield strong. Telepaths were forbidden to read minds inside the council without permission. Then it happened. A loud argument erupted across the chamber. Two alien leaders stood, shouting. Energy flared. Emotions spiked. For a single second, Lyra's focus broke. Her mental shield slipped. And her mind touched the humans. She froze. What she saw was not weakness. Her vision filled with images. Fast. Sharp. Dangerous. Attack routes. Hidden ships. Timelines. Escape paths. Her own face appeared again and again, marked with warnings. Threat detected. She is the target. Move position. Protect her. Lyra gasped and pulled back instantly. Her heart raced. She staggered, gripping the edge of the platform to stay standing. The human looked at her. Just for a moment. His eyes showed concern. Not fear. Not anger. Concern. Commander, he asked quietly. She did not answer. Inside her mind, the images burned. The human had been tracking threats across the station. He knew about assassination attempts that were not yet public. He knew about betrayals inside the council. He knew where danger would come from. And worst of all, he had been acting on it. Small changes. Quiet warnings sent to security. Delayed schedules. Shifted seating plans. All to protect her. Lyra had never noticed. She straightened slowly, forcing her expression back into control. Telepaths were trained to hide emotions, but this was different. This shook her core. The council continued arguing, unaware. The human returned his gaze to the floor, silent again. Lyra studied him now with new eyes. He did not look powerful. He did not look dangerous. But she knew better. Humans did not shout their strength. They hid it. The meeting ended shortly after. Council members left in groups, still angry, still blind. Guards moved into formation. The human turned to leave with the rest of the advisors. Lyra stopped him. Wait, she said. He paused but did not turn. Yes, Commander. Her voice felt heavy. How long? He hesitated. How long, what? How long have you known, she asked. The human met her eyes again. Calm. Careful. Honest. Long enough. Why didn't you report it, she asked. Because no one would listen, he replied. And because talking would put you in danger. Lyra felt a chill. You risked yourself, she said. He gave a small smile. That's part of the job. He walked away. Lyra stood alone in the chamber, her thoughts racing. The galaxy believed humans were weak because they did not dominate. Because they did not boast. Because they did not demand respect. But in one accidental moment, Lyra had seen the truth. The human was not helpless. He was a guardian. And something was coming that would force the galaxy to finally notice. Lyra did not sleep that cycle. She stood on the high balcony of the station, watching stars slide past the view glass. Her mind replayed the images again and again. The human's thoughts had been clear, sharp, and focused. No chaos. No fear. Only planning. That frightened her more than panic ever could. At first light, she began to watch him. The human moved through the station like a shadow. He greeted guards by name. He paused to speak with engineers. He asked simple questions, never demanding answers. To anyone else, he looked polite. Boring. Forgettable. But Lyra now noticed the pattern. He chose certain corridors. He avoided others. He adjusted meeting times by minutes, not hours. When a supply lift stalled, he calmly suggested an alternate route, one that kept Lyra away from an exposed hull. Every choice reduced risk. Every choice pointed danger away from her. She followed him at a distance, hiding her presence. Once, she brushed against his mind again, carefully this time. She did not dig. She only listened. Warnings filled his thoughts. Sniper position not cleared. Security team compromised. Delay her movement, now. Lyra stopped walking. A moment later, an alarm sounded far down the corridor. Security rushed past her toward a storage wing. A hidden weapon was found. An assassin was arrested. The report would later say the threat was minor. Lyra knew better. That evening, the council gathered again. Tension was higher now. Whispers moved faster than truth. Several members argued that humans should be removed from sensitive areas. They bring instability, one leader said. They are unpredictable, another added. The human stood silently behind the advisor's line. Lyra felt anger rise in her chest. It surprised her. The meeting ended with no decision. As the chamber cleared, Lyra made her choice. She approached the human openly this time. "Walk with me," she said. He nodded and matched her pace. They moved along a quiet corridor, guards far behind. "You know about the threats," she said. "Yes," he replied. "You know more than security," she said. "Yes." "Why?" she asked. He stopped walking. "Because humans survive by paying attention," he said. "We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. So we watch. We remember. We connect small details." Lyra studied his face. "You are risking your life." "Yes," he said again, as if it were nothing. "Why protect me?" she asked. He hesitated. "Because if they remove you," he said slowly, "the wrong people gain power." "That's all?" she asked. He met her eyes. "And because it's the right thing to do." She felt something tighten in her chest. Among her people, survival came first. Emotion was controlled. Duty was shared. But this was personal. Later that cycle, Lyra reviewed classified reports. Attacks had been stopped before they started. Votes had been delayed just long enough to prevent disasters. Each success had one thing in common. A human suggestion. No credit. No record. As she closed the last file, an urgent alert flashed across her console. Unidentified fleet entering system. Estimated arrival, 2 hours. Lyra's pulse spiked. She turned and ran. She found the human already there, standing before a holographic map. Human ships appeared, dozens of them, but marked inactive, hidden beyond sensor range. "You knew," she said. He nodded once. "I hoped I was wrong." The enemy fleet grew larger on the display. Lyra understood then. This was not just about her safety. This was about the station. The council. The balance of power. She looked at the human. They won't listen to you. I know, he said. What will you do? She asked. He activated a secure channel. His voice changed, not louder, but sharper. I'll do what humans always do, he said. Protect first. Explain later. The lights dimmed as the station entered battle readiness. And for the first time, Lyra realized something terrifying. The human had never been waiting for permission. He had been waiting for the right moment. The station trembled as warning lights flashed across every corridor. Sirens echoed like distant thunder. Council members rushed from their chambers, voices raised in panic. Security teams scrambled, receiving orders that conflicted and changed every second. Lyra stood beside the human in the command center. For the first time, he was not silent. He moved with purpose, giving short instructions to officers who barely noticed they were listening to a human. Screens filled with data streams. Enemy ships appeared at the edge of the system, dark and sharp, moving in perfect formation. They will strike the outer ring first, the human said calmly. Not to destroy it. To distract us. An officer hesitated. How do you know? The human did not argue. He simply pointed. Moments later, new data confirmed it. Lyra watched the room shift. Doubt turned into attention. Attention turned into trust. No one said it out loud, but everyone felt it. The human was right. Lyra leaned closer. You planned this, she said quietly. I planned for it, he replied. There's a difference. As the station prepared its defenses, Lyra brushed his mind again. This time, he felt it. He did not block her. What she saw was not battle plans. She saw Earth. A small blue world surrounded by fire. Cities in ruins. Humans pulling strangers from wreckage. Humans shielding children who were not their own. Humans standing between danger and others, knowing they would not survive. She pulled back, shaken. You lost so much, she whispered. Yes, he said. So we learned. The enemy fleet crossed the final boundary. Weapons powered up. The council demanded full retreat. Some shouted for surrender. Others called for negotiations that would never be answered. The human stepped forward. We can't outrun them, he said. And we can't outgun them. Silence fell. But we can outthink them. He activated a new display. Hidden human ships appeared, small, fast, and positioned far from the station. They expect fear, he continued. They expect chaos. They don't expect patience. Lyra felt pride rise inside her, surprising and strong. Authorize it, she said to the council. They stared at her. She is taking responsibility, the human said. If we fail, blame us both. The council hesitated, then agreed. Human ships moved. They did not charge. They waited. The enemy fleet advanced, confident. Too confident. Then the trap closed. Human vessels cut supply lines, disabled navigation, and vanished before counterfire could lock on. Confusion spread through the enemy ranks. Orders failed. Formation broke. The station's weapons fired with precision. The battle was fast. Clean. Controlled. When it ended, debris drifted silently through space. The enemy fleet was gone. Inside the command center, no one spoke. Then slowly, one by one, eyes turned toward the human. He looked tired now. Not weak, tired. You should have told us, a council member said. The human met their gaze. You wouldn't have believed me. Lyra stepped forward. I didn't, she said honestly. Until I saw his mind. A ripple moved through the room. You read him? Someone asked. Yes, she said. By accident. She looked at the human. And I saw what you never show. He nodded once. The galaxy thinks humans hide because they are afraid, Lyra continued. But the truth is, they hide to protect others from fear. The council fell silent again. Later, as the station returned to normal, Lyra found the human standing alone, watching the stars. They will want answers, she said. They always do, he replied. And you? She asked. What do you want? He thought for a moment. I want the galaxy to stop mistaking silence for weakness, he said. Lyra nodded. She had read many minds in her life. But this one had changed everything. And deep inside, she knew the galaxy's greatest mistake was not attacking humans. It was underestimating why they chose to protect instead of rule. The council chamber was full again, but the mood had changed. Before, the leaders sat tall and proud. Now, many avoided eye contact. The battle had ended, but its echo remained. Screens around the chamber replayed fragments of the fight, enemy ships disabled with perfect timing, human vessels appearing and disappearing like ghosts. Humans were no longer invisible. Lyra stood beside the human advisor as the council demanded explanations. How long? One leader asked sharply. How long have humans prepared forces without council approval? The human did not raise his voice. Long enough to know no one would approve. Anger rose in the room, but it was weaker now. Fear sat beneath it. You acted without permission, another said. Yes, the human replied. Because waiting would have cost lives. Lyra stepped forward. Including mine, she added. Silence spread. The human continued, calm and steady. Humans learned a simple rule early in our history. If you wait for everyone to agree, you arrive too late. Some leaders protested. Others listened. Then alarms sounded again. Not an attack, reports. Across the system, hidden threats were being uncovered. Sleeper agents. Sabotage teams. Long-planned strikes that had failed because someone had quietly disrupted them weeks ago. A pattern emerged. Human involvement. They were everywhere, an intelligence officer said. Watching. Preparing. The council looked at the human with new eyes. Not as a weak advisor, but as something far more dangerous. A protector who had chosen restraint. But restraint never lasts forever. A senior council member stood. If humans are this capable, he said slowly, why not take control? Why not rule? The human met his gaze. Because rulers become targets. Guardians become shields. That answer unsettled them more than any threat. Outside the chamber, Lyra walked with the human through the station. For the first time, guards nodded to him with respect. Some even saluted. You can't go back to being ignored, Lyra said. I know, he replied. What happens now? She asked. He looked toward the stars. Now the galaxy tests us. As if summoned by his words, a new message arrived. A powerful alien alliance demanded a meeting. They had seen the battle. They wanted answers. And they wanted control over human defenses. They fear us, Lyra said. They should fear what happens if we stop caring, the human replied. The meeting was held hours later. Representatives filled the chamber, armed ships waiting nearby. Their demands were clear. Human fleets would be placed under joint command. Human intelligence would be shared fully. In return, humans would be protected. Lyra felt anger surge. Protection offered like a leash. The human listened quietly. When they finished, he spoke. Humans will not be controlled, he said. But we will cooperate. The alliance leader sneered. You are in no position to refuse. The human tapped the console. New images appeared. Threat simulations. Alternate timelines. In every version where humans were restrained, the galaxy burned. In every version where humans were free, survival rates increased. We don't protect because we are ordered to, the human said. We protect because we choose to. The alliance fell silent. After the meeting, Lyra found him alone again. You showed them everything, she said. Not everything, he replied. Just enough. She studied him. Are you afraid they will turn on humans now? He smiled faintly. They always do. That's why we plan. Lyra realized then what truly made humans dangerous. Not their ships. Not their weapons. Their patience. For centuries, humans had hidden behind humility, behind silence, behind the image of weakness. But now the galaxy had pushed too far. And when humans stopped hiding, they did not seek revenge. They prepared to protect the entire galaxy, whether it wanted that protection or not. The station finally grew quiet. Debris had been cleared. Fires were gone. Systems returned to normal. Life continued, but nothing felt the same. The galaxy had seen humans clearly for the first time, and it could not forget. Lyra stood alone in the observation hall. Stars drifted slowly beyond the glass. Her mind felt heavy, not from battle, but from truth. Footsteps approached behind her. She did not turn. She already knew who it was. The Council is rewriting protocols, the human said calmly. New security laws. New alliances. Because of you, Lyra replied. Because of what they saw, he corrected. She faced him. His uniform was unchanged. No medals. No symbols of victory. Just a human, standing quietly after saving millions. They want to study human strategy, Lyra said. They want access to your fleets. And you? He asked. I want to understand, she said honestly. Your mind was different. He nodded slowly. You shouldn't have seen it. I know, she said. And I won't again. They stood in silence for a moment. When I read your thoughts, Lyra continued, there was no pride. No hunger for power. Only responsibility. That's the burden, he said softly. If you can protect someone and choose not to, you become the threat. Lyra felt the weight of those words settle inside her. The council later summoned them both. The chamber was filled, but the tone was no longer hostile. It was cautious. Respect mixed with fear. A senior leader stood. The galaxy owes humanity a debt, he said carefully. We underestimated you. The human did not smile. We're not asking for gratitude, he replied. Only trust. Can we trust a species that hides its strength? Another leader asked. Lyra stepped forward before the human could speak. You trusted humans without knowing it, she said. They protected this station long before today. You survived because they stayed silent. The chamber fell quiet. After the session ended, a record was added to the Galactic archives. It was short and carefully worded. Humans are not conquerors. Humans are not rulers. Humans are guardians. Lyra watched as the human prepared to leave the station. A transport waited to carry him back to human space. No celebrations. No crowd. You're going, she said. Yes, he replied. Others will take my place. Will you ever stop protecting us? She asked. He looked at her, thoughtful. Protection isn't about borders. It's about people. She hesitated, then spoke quietly. I've read thousands of minds. Yours is the only one I wish I hadn't. Why? He asked. Because now I know, she said. And knowing changes responsibility. He smiled, just slightly. That's the human problem too. The transport doors began to close. As he stepped inside, Lyra made a decision. I will speak for humans in the council, she said. Not because I must. Because I choose to. He met her gaze, understanding clear between them. The transport departed, vanishing into the stars. Lyra remained there long after it was gone. She had read the mind of a human by accident. She had seen fear, loss, patience, and sacrifice. And she understood the greatest truth the galaxy had missed for centuries. Humans do not protect because they are powerful. They are powerful because they choose to protect. That truth would echo through the galaxy for generations. And Lyra would never forget the mind she was never meant to read.